It's up to you, New York, New York.
Right now, welcome to the Richie H. Jr. Sports Podcast. I am your co-host, Idris, aka Bosco from the Bronx. I got my host over here somewhere, Richie H. Jr. Are you there?
Richie Hicks Jr.
There he is. He's in the business.
My apologies. I was linking this out to my Facebook page, and I spelled Beantown wrong. So you I
you
had to correct that.
No, you probably spelled
with the quickness. Yeah, I put an M instead of an N, but it equals an L as the New York Knicks went to the most storied house in the NBA and walked out with a dub. Timberlands on the floor.
Boots on the ground, baby.
Yes, sir. Boots on the ground for sure. New York Knicks picking up a big win. There was a big game in Santa Clara last night, and we are going to dissect it, talk about it, and send off our favorite sport, football, in the proper way. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks as they win their second overall Lombardi trophy. And truthfully, they did it in a very basic way. They did what needed to be done in a conservative way, but an efficient way. Kenneth Walker wins the MVP. I think if his late touchdown doesn't get called back, it would have been an even more dominant performance and also would have helped my parlay. But, we said this going in, Idris, and you know how you chopped up a ton of shorts off that last show we did with Shed. Man, I was getting some heat from these Patriot fans, or even on the one where we discussed that while Vrabel had a good year, maybe he shouldn't have got coach of the year. I was accused of being biased. I was accused of just being a hater. But in reality, and this is for you, Stephen Ridlon, when you scoffed at the dual prediction of 37-20 by me and my co-host, were it not for a Kenneth Walker called back touchdown, our total for Seattle would have only been 1 point light. But I had them winning by 17, as did Idris. They won by 16. And do not let that final score fool you, folks.
Right.
Those were vanity points at the end of the game, similar to Kansas City scoring against Philly last year. Last good Super Bowl we saw was the Niners and the Chiefs that went to overtime. But, yesterday, a masterpiece in terms of defensive performance by the Seattle Seahawks. And the big difference between Sam Darnold and Drake May, while Sam Darnold's missed some targets, threw into some tight windows that were risky, got away with it. The big difference is that Sam Darnold was able to bounce off of some potential sacks, keep some plays going, and more times than not, just keep the flow of the offense going, where they were able to rely on NFL record-holding point leader Jason Myers, who broke the 2006 record formerly held by LaDainian Tomlinson, who ran behind Shane Olivier out of Lawrence High School, as well as Ohio State University. The late Shane Olivier was the lead blocker for LaDainian Tomlinson in that record-breaking MVP season for LaDainian. Um, yeah, I told you this too. I even got some hate about that I thought the NFC West should have produced the coach of the year, whether it be Shanahan or McDonald. And Vrabel won the award, goes head to head with McDonald. And I get it, personnel matters. And Vrabel's only been in New England 1 year, whereas McDonald's been in Seattle for 2. But I think it holds true that 2 things after this game, maybe 3. The New England Patriots were beneficiaries of a soft schedule.
Yep.
The NFC West is the best division in football in the year 2025, 26, 25, 26. And perhaps they got coach of the year wrong. No knock on you, Mike Vrabel. You did a hell of a job, and I always have been a fan of yours. But I do think that Kyle Shanahan or Mike McDonald should have got this award. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks were basically the best team in football from like November to the end.
I'm with you 100%, man. I'm with you 100%. I think Seattle did what I thought they would do. Me and you both said the same thing. We said there's not going to be a game. That defense wins championships, everyone. And our Giants fans, you can say, yeah, we need somebody to score 30, 40, 50. No, we need a defense. If you don't have a defense, you're not going to win anything. Seattle showed last night when their quarterback couldn't get going because that defense of New England came to play. They rushed Sam Darnold like when you spoke offline. Sam Darnold knew how to extend plays, but that's the veteran. That's the veteran in him. That's something Drake May will learn eventually. But that's
now,
yeah.
No. I'm just expanding on your point.
Yeah,
Drake May. I felt this was coming because when I look at the Charger game, the first playoff game the Patriots played, and I saw how May was being a little too reckless, I felt that if a team had a competent enough offense or a healthy enough offense, the Chargers are missing tackles. The Texans, we know how that went. An AFC title game, Jarrett Stidham versus Bo Nix, you're not going to be able to run the same offense. And I said it to you on the show with Shed recently. New England's going to find out what it looks like when you don't have the benefit of a team being vulnerable, hurt, etc. And Seattle had everyone healthy with the exception of Charbonnet. Their defense was phenomenal. Shouts out Leonard Williams. Shouts out Julian Love. Julian Love gets a Super Bowl pick. I was really happy for him.
Yeah.
Really happy for Leonard Williams. You saw the big guy smiling. He never wanted to leave. Yeah.
He never wanted to leave New York. So now I'm going to interrupt you. I'm happy for both those guys because those are guys I would call, especially Leonard Williams. I mean, he's still a Giant to me. I know he's a Seahawk, but I know he still had that.
He left on good terms.
Yes, and another person I want to get shouts out is DeMarcus Lawrence, former Dallas Cowboy, because he left. Dallas didn't want him. They trashed him, because of the weed. He played his ass off last night. DeMarcus Lawrence played his ass off last night.
And he has been a part of that team where it's not always going to show up on the stat sheet, but he does a lot of intangibles. Like he did have some stat sheet moments, like for instance, the 2 fumble recoveries for touchdowns, which at his position is like unheard of.
Right.
He did that twice in the same game. It almost looked like a replay.
Right.
Leonard Williams, another guy that's not always going to necessarily show up on your stat sheet, but he's a disruptor. I often use the name from yesteryear, Merlin Olsen. He's the guy who he reminds me of the most.
Yep.
But yes, to your point, Leonard didn't want to leave New York, but the Giants were in a situation where they weren't going anywhere. They needed some capital. He was a valuable guy that they could trade that probably would never have been that valuable to trade again. And another thing about Leonard, because of his fluidity in terms of defensive positioning, where he could be viewed as an end or a tackle, sometimes the salary situations and structures could be a little tough for the employer. So they said, we're going to send you to a team that needs you now, a team that's a little closer than we are. Julian Love, that was a little different. He felt that he could expand his money reach in Seattle. And people have to understand, too, that when you make a sacrifice to play in the big city, you do miss out on certain amenities in terms of how far your money could go. Because let's be real, New York is incredibly expensive, as is New Jersey. So,
yeah,
no hard feelings for Julian Love. Both these dudes contributed to our most recent playoff success, which was 2022. During the regular season, both of those guys were lights out that year.
Mhm.
And, the Jets got to be feeling some kind of way as well because Leonard Williams, in addition to being a former Giant, is a former Jet. And
Yes.
Sam Darnold was the number 3 overall pick in the same
Amen.
draft
Same
as
drive.
Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and
Preach.
Lamar Jackson.
Preach it. Preach it.
Sam
preach it,
Darnold
preach it.
is the first quarterback to win of those 4, and he probably
Hallelujah.
would have been the last, if not the
Hallelujah.
second to last on that list of people who would have figured who's going to win. I remember we did a show when he first moved over to the 49ers talking with Shed, saying how it was a good situation for him to get sturdy again.
Amen. Amen. My bad.
No, it's good. And I'll tell you, man, I'm happy for him because it's a lot of redemption that went down here.
You know something, Richie? I'm so glad you said that because you stole my thunder, you son of a bitch. Well, yeah, I was going to say all of that. I'm happy for this guy because, like you said, in that draft, he came out top dog, and it had looked like his career was gone. He went out to Shanahan School of Quarterbacks, changed his game because he started looking good, and he actually looked pretty decent.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm a lost. You stole my thunder. I appreciate you. No, I'm joking. I'm happy for him, man. The quarter, he might be the only one out of that draft that wins the Super Bowl. He might be the only one. They thought
because it gets harder and harder. Shouts out to Chanel Nicholson of the Casual Convo show. She said that a lot of people have not given New England their fair shake. She did not include me amongst that. She said, "You've been fair. Our offense needs work. Our defense is an elite unit." I agree with everything that she feels, but I did tell her that I stick into what I said, and I said it on my short last night, addressing some of the people that were in my comments. And I said, this played out the way I thought it would. It's not a knock on the New England Patriots. It's just a credit to how damn good the Seattle Seahawks are, number 1. The Los Angeles Rams are number 2, because if you revisit the NFC title game, that game was a lot better than the Super Bowl.
I agree. And it goes back to the top, man. Defense wins championships because both offenses were under duress, or both quarterbacks were under duress all night. Sam Darnold showed the experience he had. He was able to, like you said offline, he was able to extend plays, and that was the difference, man. And you have to have a running game. It goes to show right there, you have to have a running game. Kenneth Walker went crazy last night. He went insane. He had 100 yards.
He proved Brett wrong and others that said that he wouldn't be able to have that performance.
Dude, he had
doing it all on his own.
He had 100 yards midway through the third quarter. He had more total yards midway through the third quarter than New England had. The whole team.
And yeah, their entire offense. And another thing that needs to be highlighted here is that the rookie combination on the offensive line for the New England Patriots was overwhelmed. And that has a lot to do not with ability, but with experience. And Seattle did not struggle. And I give New England credit, too, on defense. Guys sold out, played their hearts out, kept the game within striking distance. The reason why 9-0 felt like 20-0 or worse is because I saw enough of that game in the first half to know that New England was not going to be able to really move the ball the way they want to until they got into the vanity zone of the game. Because I was laughing when Chris Collinsworth was over here saying, like, oh, the momentum is no. Seattle never panicked. Seattle wasn't even tripping on 3rd and long and still running the ball, taking 3. That's the kind of confidence Seattle has in their defense. They're like, we're not here for aesthetics. We're not here for sexy points. We don't care if you think we're boring. We're going to win the way that we have to win against this particular team. Now, if they were playing the Buffalo Bills, it would have been a much high-scoring game, and it probably would have been a lot more aesthetically fun to watch, where Darnold and Allen both would have aired it out. Not to mention something that might be forgotten because of the defensive performance is that Seattle's offense was terrific all season long, putting up large amounts of points. It's just that this particular opponent, and it is a credit to the New England defense, took some of what Seattle does away. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba, as well as his counterpart on the other side, Stephon Diggs, was shut down for the most part.
Yeah, big time. And I'm watching
That's why
the game.
Barner and Cooper Kupp were able to eat.
Yeah, shouts out to Cooper Kupp. Shouts out to Cooper Kupp. I'm happy for him too. The Rams said we loved you, but we don't have much for you. He goes to the rival, picks up another ring. Shouts out to that man. Oh
yeah, he was their best receiver yesterday because JSN did a good job in terms of route running.
Yeah,
he had his one chance to score there, but the God's honest truth is that's a credit to Christian Gonzalez. He played a hell of a game last night in a losing effort.
Played his ass off. Yes, that's why he's out there.
As did Carlton Davis. That trio of corners in New England is very good. And, whenever you have a season ending, you always lose good coaches. And in Seattle's case, Kubiak is going to the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're going to be looking for a new play caller, new OC.
I don't think they'll have a hard time finding one because looking at what they have and what they just came off of, I wouldn't be surprised if Kingsbury go out there.
It wouldn't shock me, to tell you the truth. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah. One of the hardest things to do when you're on top of the mountain is to maintain the fluidity and the intensity of what you just did, because you can't go any higher, so to speak, unless if you're somehow going to be one of the rare organizations that pulls off a dynasty. We spoke to your cousin when they were coming off a tough Super Bowl loss, and he flat out said, no two seasons are the same, and everything that happened last year doesn't matter once you get back to camp. But when I look a little bit ahead to 2026, obviously the 49ers have to get a little younger to keep pace with LA and the Seahawks. But given the kind of coach that Kyle Shanahan is, I have every reason to believe that the 49ers are going to find themselves once again in a three-way fight with those two teams. I do, however, put the Rams and the Seahawks a peg above the Niners for now. Until somebody else takes the East from the Eagles, they deserve the respect of assuming that they're going to be the favorite in the East again. Mm-hmm. But I think with the insertion of John Harbaugh in the division, New York Football Giants are going to be challenging Dallas and Philly now. And I also believe that in the North, it's still a coin toss between the Bears and the Packers, as the Lions and the Vikings have a little soul searching to do, because I've said it before. I think the Lions window could potentially be closing because Jared Goff ain't really getting any younger, and David Montgomery's already starting to squabble about wanting to do his own thing, not necessarily, having to share the ball with Gibbs. So there could be some facelifting going on with the Lions as well. And in the South, Tampa Bay is going to try to take back what's been theirs for a long time, whereas you have Carolina feeling pretty good about themselves. They gave the Rams a hell of a week one game in the playoffs, and they were able to win the division. So, Ted McMillan is your rookie of the year. Bryce Young, while I still don't think he's the permanent answer, has definitely improved. And that's going to be an exciting team moving forward. So a lot of storylines in the NFC. As the AFC goes, can the Patriots keep up this kind of dominance in the AFC? I know Denver will be back. Buffalo's got a lot on their plate now with a new coach and Joe Brady, who got a promotion. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen in Pittsburgh? What's going to happen in Baltimore? These are going to be some questions that are going to be answered. And, it's going to be a very fun draft and a very fun offseason in the National Football League.
The span what you're saying, I'll be honest with you, with the NFC South, I think Bryce Young is I think that's their guy, dude. I think that's their guy. I watched that guy play all 17 games. And, I was a big critic of him coming out because I was like, I don't know about this guy,
We had no choice but to be that way.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I don't know if it was Shed who said it or if it was Zappy. I don't remember who said it. Mm-hmm. It was one of our guys that said it. But basically, Stroud and Bryce Young kind of switched positions in terms of career trajectory.
They did. And the way he's played, dude, like even that NFC that playoff game, that kid played his ass off with a
Yes,
chance
he
to
did.
win, you know. So
He's put his team up before the final drive, and Matthew Stafford was doing what MVPs do.
right. So I don't know about Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay will be back because they'll be healthy.
Oh
So
yeah, Bucky Irving obviously is going to have to play more than 6 games, and
yeah,
Mike Evans unfortunately coming off all those injuries.
yeah. So I think I think Tampa Bay will be back, but I think Carolina is going to play them like okay, because look at Carolina, the game they lost some stupid games. They shouldn't have lost against New Orleans.
No, not by any means. And then you got a Falcon team bringing in Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time coach of the year, and you have a New Orleans team that actually had the best division record last year. They just couldn't beat anybody outside the division last year, really.
And see, with Carolina, they beat Green Bay. They beat the Rams. They almost beat the Rams twice. They play the tough teams tough. It's the sorry teams, the one that they.
And that's all part of learning how to win.
That's part of the way of learning how to win. But yeah. As for Pittsburgh, Rodgers didn't announce his retirement.
I have a feeling Mike McCarthy is going to bring him back for one more run. But
one more run. Yeah,
they're going to try to address the quarterback position in the draft.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because he's not going to. If he does come in, he's not going to play 2-3 more years. But I think with McCarthy. Yeah, I think McCarthy, they know each other, and I know they had a little riff in Green Bay the first time towards the end, but they know each other, and he knows Mike's gonna let him do his thing, so I think he'll play one more year. Cause Pittsburgh was one of those teams that you say like they can win, but just when you say that, they blow it. They look like the worst team in the league, you know. So but
that's
back to Super Bowl.
That's valid.
South to Seattle, I've always had a fondness for it because I lived out there when I was in the military for a few years, and I got a chance to go to the games, and I kind of became someone who liked them, you know, because I was living out there. And Seattle has some dope fans, man. I'm gonna tell you, they got some dope fans, man. So I'm knowledgeable. I'm happy for Leonard Williams. I'm happy for Julian Love. I'm happy for DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm happy for those 3 guys. You know, because this year Love left for obvious reasons, money, the tax. Because he said, look, the tax stuff. He admitted it. You know, it's a tax thing. You know, New York is crazy.
I'm not going to hate on anybody for being honest.
Right. So I'm
even happy for backup quarterback Drew Lock because when he came to the Giants last year, he was basically told he'd be the number 2. But when things got hairy after the Jones situation. Brian Dable in Drew Lock's mind kind of snaked him when he jumped Tommy DeVito over him on the depth chart, and that did not sit well by any means with Drew Lock.
You know who else I'm happy for, even though he didn't win anything? Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, we'll find out if DeVito is retained because when you're the number 3 quarterback in the NFL, it's a very fragile position. Yeah. Where you don't know for sure if he's going to be back with them or back on the block on the market. So it wouldn't blow my mind if now with Russell Wilson obviously moving on from the New York Giants after his 1 season, obviously Jameis is the prime backup. Maybe DeVito comes back to the Giants quarterback room. Maybe New England keeps him. But there'll be opportunities for Tommy to still be in the league. Local Jersey guy who's an easy person to root for. And he had his 15 minutes of fame. A couple of years ago, beat Green Bay in prime time. You know, brought some excitement to a rough season.
He's doing progressive commercials too. So, hey,
good kid, easy person to root for.
I love me some Tommy DeVito, man.
Now, it's far out. Do you want to revert back to this episode later, and we'll give a far out Super Bowl prediction a year in advance? Who you got next year in Super Bowl 61?
Golly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. If New England can do it, so can the damn New York Giants, damn it. But I'm not gonna say Giants though. Damn it, you know what? Damn, because Seattle, that defense is gonna be that defense. They're not going anywhere. Oh,
I tend to agree. I think the big challenge for Seattle next year is going to be if they don't lose some steps with a new OC, because
Yeah.
it's always a transitioning process, and the Rams were ever so close.
Yeah. Next year, I'm still going to put the Rams in the NFC Championship. I'm still going to.
I wouldn't be mind blown if you get a rematch next year in the NFC.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
Yeah, it would not surprise me. AFC too, it wouldn't surprise me. So, oh man,
I'm going to go Seattle and the Rams rematch next year for the NFC, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go New England. I'm going to go New England and Buffalo in the AFC.
I can roll with that, dude. Yeah,
For now.
Yeah, I can roll with that because the Super Bowl is hard for me to say, but
because I'll tell you the truth, it wasn't like so endearing with the Joe Brady coming up over McDermott. I'm not convinced, but I gotta think that the better days of KC are behind them until they revamp, and that's going to take a year or two. Denver is right there; they're close, but I wholeheartedly feel that Buffalo missed the grand opportunity here. So I'm gonna keep it similar to how I saw it going this year. Patriots, Buffalo in the title game a year from now. And I'm gonna go Rams and Seahawks. And I think next year I'm just gonna put it back together again. It fell short this year. Buffalo, LA Rams, Super Bowl 61.
I'd like to see that.
And the Giants will be pushing for a playoff spot next year. They might fall short, but I do think the New York Giants at minimum are going to win 7 to 8 games next year. The schedule, although not as brutal as this year that just got played, I noticed that the Giants road games are going to be rather challenging. So we'll see how that plays out. But so long, NFL for now. Of course, the draft ain't that far in the grand scheme of things.
The NFL
but baseball
is never over.
No, baseball and basketball are going to be taking some precedent on the show.
Baby.
I'm going to have Richard Dorney on the show in the next week or two. We're going to talk a big detailed preview for MLB. And of course, the New York Knicks are tracking down that ever elusive third championship. Pat's got, here he is. Look at this. Speak of the devil, he's right here. Pats got spanked, the Jets got mahoned, and fuck Kid Rock. Okay, tell him how you feel, Rich. Tell him how you feel, Rich.
RD3 in the building. What's up, bro?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go on record right now, and I'm gonna cut this a reel so people can save it. So this is my prediction for New York Giants. The Giants will make the playoffs next year, upcoming season. The Giants will make this
Rich Eisen feels that they could win the division in year one with Harbaugh.
I do too. I think we'll be a wild card, but the Giants will be in the playoffs this year.
I don't think it's that far out of the stretch of the imagination when you consider that even with ineptitude on coaching, on defense, and Brian Dable as well, the Giants were in almost every game they played this year. So, I don't think it's that far of a reach. I'm really looking forward to see how John Harbaugh handles this war room and just handles everything. Richard Dorney was very opinionated about some of the things he crossed on social media. Dorney and I had a private conversation that we're going to expand on, so I'm not going to put that out here, but all I'm going to say is that shouts out you, Dorney. He had a beautiful photo of our September 12th game, a game that Francisco Lindor went deep 3 times on the New York Yankees. We went for 2 games. We split that 2 games that we saw together. But he flat out said, I grew up around the best Puerto Ricans in the world. He shouted out me and my mother. And he posted that picture of him with the Puerto Rican flag in Citi Field after the Lindor 3rd home run, where I had the stupidity of jinxing my own team, saying that Lindor was, just basically clowning on his batting average. Next thing you know, the thing sailed over Stanton's head, and I was just like, shit.
Hey, look, I got to address something right quick. I keep looking at this picture that you posted with Stephen Baker. LPG, man.
He's everywhere, bro. He's everywhere.
LPG is like the nerve of this guy. That's the look he got on this for, the nerve of this guy taking a photo with Stephen Baker and me not being it. That's what I see in that picture. Right?
He's everywhere. License plate LPG, guy is everywhere. Yeah, the most recognizable New York Giants fan in these United States.
he just has that look like you got some nerve to have a picture with him and not me not being. That's how he looks walking by, dude.
Yeah, I took some snaps with LPG as well as Eric Michael P, Burt Bennett. It was a good day. It was a good day.
And where was this again? The New England
this
game.
was in Jersey, the New England game. You can notice a couple of Brady jerseys in the background.
LPG.
All right.
That's the hater.
I'm going to have to fly out of here in a couple of minutes, but I do want your opinion on this, Idris.
Mm-hmm.
After winning 8 in a row, the Knicks took a beating by the Detroit Pistons, an undermanned Knicks team, as they did not have Jose Alvarado yet.
Right.
Cat and Anunoby were both ill. They respond with a big whooping and even up their record with the Boston Celtics, both sitting at 29-18 right now. How do you feel about the Knicks winning 8 of the last 9? And do you think that they're going to be able to shave some off this Pistons lead? You know, this is a different Pistons team this year, and the Knicks most definitely have to view them as a real threat to prevent them from winning the East.
You know, they're going to be hard to catch. Because Detroit's good. Detroit's
they are
good.
Yeah, so, they are.
If we don't catch them, you know, okay, we don't catch them. We'll get the 2 seed, whatever. I'm happy with what I'm seeing out of this team. We rebounded, and the beatdown we gave Boston, that was awesome, man.
It's always a valuable win when you do it on the road, too.
Boots on the ground,
sir.
Baby. Boots on the ground. Boston Celtics fans, when you see that, you know we're coming, all right? Now I got to get this thing off the stage. Oh, my bad. Richie.
Size 13 to your grip.
Yes, sir. Boots on the ground, baby. Tim's on the ground, man.
Yeah, Knicks. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing how Jose Alvarado really meshes with the team. I like the interaction with he and Jalen Brunson. Jose immediately, acknowledging who the main man in New York is and just flat out saying, "What do I need to do to get the best out of you?" And Brunson basically told him, I'm paraphrasing, but he told him, just play your game. Just play your game. And you're going to fit in just fine here. But Jose Alvarado, I'm happy that he gets back to NYC. This is a dream of his to play for an organization like the Knicks.
Right.
And the Knicks are definitely turning it around. But, I'm acknowledging that the Detroit Pistons have a damn good team. Yeah. And the Knicks are going to have to bring their A game in future matchups because the Pistons do have a lot of confidence right now against our Knicks.
Yep. Shouts out to the Washington Wizards for bringing in AD and then have to shut them down for the rest of the season. Good job, y'all.
Last thoughts of the day. Shouts out NFC Beast. I love the administrators in there because they don't tolerate no bullshit.
Before you go, that's the thing I like about this group because a lot of groups on Facebook are football trash talk, but this group, Keith Warridge and crew, shouts out because they make sure we ain't gonna have that bullshit in here. We're not
Victor Ortiz, I was at the Knicks game. Hell yeah, bro. My best friend in New York was there at Legends Night. Unfortunately, they didn't win against the Suns, but he FaceTimed me. I'm out in Florida, but most definitely when I come back to New York, gonna check out my Knicks. I would love to see a Ranger game, but the Rangers are just so damn bad this year. But yeah, shouts out, man. And please subscribe to the channel. You ever see us going live and you want to talk some ball, by all means, get in here. So thank you, Victor, for joining the show.
We'll bring you on,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. With basketball season heating up, hit that like and subscribe. And definitely join us for a future basketball-driven show because with the NFL recently concluding, we're going to be hitting on a lot more basketball. And, of course, MLB just around the corner. Before you know it, it'll be March Madness and then the NFL draft. Thank you, Victor. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
And we love our
last thought of the day. Last thought of the day before I get out of here. Shouts out NFC Beast. I don't ever bring politics into here because I respect all my viewers and how you vote is your position and your right. And I don't ever clown nobody for how they view stuff. However, ignorance is ignorance.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call out a Washington Commander fan. Tristan, this is all I got, bro. Puerto Rico has been a colony a lot longer than you realize. And to flat out say, speak English, bro, I got nothing for you. But thank you, Beast, for handling that bullshit yesterday.
Let me add to that also. And for those who, and we don't talk politics. We may speak on things, but we don't show a bias on this show. We really don't. Because we all have our views and we respect each other's views. That's one thing. Us, me, Richie, Zappy, Shed, Brett. We don't.
Because if you think we always agree, we don't. But there's a bigger respect that needs to be shown.
Yeah, we have our arguments. Trust me, we do have our arguments, like brothers do. We're all brothers. We disagree, we fuss, we fight, but in the end, we wind up like I've had my little tantrums, and I act like a baby sometimes. I'm not gonna sit there in front, but we're still brothers in the end, and that's how we see it. As for Puerto Rico, I'm a New Yorker, Bronx, Harlem raised, Bronx born, Harlem raised. Harlem born, Bronx raised. My bad, y'all. My brother was half Puerto Rican. I'm half Jamaican. My mother designed it that way because she wanted us to be that type. And Bad Bunny is just as much as an American as I am. Just as American as the whitest white person. Just as American.
No,
as
and when you see the depiction of the former first lady and the former president, I don't want to hear no bullshit.
No,
listen, this is not about political affiliations.
No, it's not.
This is about right and wrong.
It's about right and wrong. And see,
it's just the kind of thing where it's like I'm just mind blown, fucking mind blown.
Yeah,
at the hatred over a 20 some odd minute performance.
It was a pretty good performance too. I liked it. I actually liked it.
I found it very relatable when the little guy was sleeping on the two chairs. That was basically an example of a lot of house parties, things of that nature. But listen, the point that I'm making is it's okay to have differences. It's okay to view each other differently, but we got to close the gap, guys, and we just got to do better, because I'm not talking about Republicans and Democrats. This is so much deeper. I'm talking about eradicating the dregs that think it's okay to still walk in a racist way in the year 2025. I will not tolerate it.
26,
I don't give
26.
two shits. Yeah, 26, my bad. I will not tolerate it. I don't give a shit who doesn't like what I say. I don't care if I lose subscribers because of this, because I'm not going to sit on my hands. Not when my co-host, who served this country and is a recent cancer survivor, is getting harassed by people supposedly representing a country that he put his life on the line. No, sir. No, sir.
You. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Bad Bunny is an American. He's Puerto Rican. Regardless, yes, he speaks Spanish, but the man was born here. The man speaks Spanish. So I'm like, how you? I think he was born here. I know. Look, to say speak English on a nation that is supposed to be about it used to be the melting pot diversity.
No, but this dude was on one last night. He's over here talking about, he was grabbing his genitals, and there's a dude and a dude. I'm like, bro, he's representing everybody. What, you think there weren't no gays in the military? You think there's no gays in MLB and the NFL?
Right, he's representing everybody.
Get over yourself, you miserable fuck.
Yeah.
Nah, that shit had me heated. I'm reading this shit. I didn't even bother addressing it, because shouts out to Nick Woolridge, who is Keith's wife. She handled that shit with the quickness. Shouts out Lori Peterson. She doesn't really comment, but she takes out the trash, so to speak. And good job on her part. Good job on her part. I almost don't want the guy to get kicked out, because I want to start making fun of him now. But at any rate, Victor, thank you for joining as one of our subscribers. We look forward to chopping it up with you in the near future. If you haven't already, please make it a point, like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube. And check out Idris's brand new album. Idris, where can they find that?
Everywhere. You can listen to it on iHeartRadio, Overman Energy, Big Bosco Productions. It's on iHeart. We're on Spotify. We're on Pandora, everything. This Google Old Man Energy, Big Bosco Productions. I got a jazz album. I got a hip hop album. Check it out. The hip hop album. I gotta send you a copy. You get a free copy, Richie. The hip hop album is raw hip hop. It's foundation hip hop, but it's relatable today. There's no violence in it. There's not one song speaks of violence. It's all about skills. The whole album, no violence. You will not hear anything about a Marabia. There's none of that in there. So if you want,
Last thing I want to ask you, Idris, when's your next hip hop show?
next week, Tuesday.
That's what's up. I'm going to do my best to, depending on my schedule, see if I can fly with you on that one.
Well, you
but
know what?
definitely check it out.
I'm gonna fix it so you can be on it. Let's do it. We'll do it on Monday night.
And check out the crossover show as well that Idris put out roughly a week ago. We have a lot of content out there right now, so it might have been slightly overlooked with all the shorts we've been putting out.
So
yes, sir. And yeah, Idris, if you want to get on one tonight, let me know, and I can probably make that happen.
Let's do it.
All right. Until next time, he is Idris. I am Richie. Thank you for joining. NFL, good job this year. And it's boots on the ground in Boston. We out.